And now we will talk about the assessment of the speaking test. Here, the students' answers have been divided into 7 sets. So similar answers are included in one set, and we'll go through the sets one by one. We'll look at the marking scales, and we'll listen to some sample answers as well. So in order to start assessing the read aloud task, click on S1 here. So this is the marking scale of the read aloud task. And here the 2 aspects we assess here are pronunciation and stress and pausing. And when you look at the marking scales, you can probably notice something that you might find a bit confusing. However, I'll try to explain what exactly we mean by 0 points and 1 point. Sometimes when students take the speaking test, they can have some technical problems. So sometimes they don't manage to record their answers, and then their answer will automatically be given 0 points. However, sometimes there are also cases when the audio file is actually there, but when you start listening to the audio file, you realize that you cannot really understand anything. You can hear that the student is saying something, but you cannot really understand much. This can happen, for example, when the internet connection in the school is not very good. And in such cases, you should mark both aspects with 0 points. So as you can see, it says cannot be assessed due to technical problems. So when there is an audio file there, but you cannot really understand anything because the student has been experiencing some technical problems, give 0 points. When the student reads fewer than 4 sentences, or there's an audio file there, and for example, you can hear the student breathing or trying to say something or saying something in Estonian, for example, then you give 1 point, which does not mean that they actually are going to get 1 point for their pronunciation or their stress and pausing. It's just for us to be able to give feedback to the student. Then sometimes students make mistakes when pronouncing words. So if there are mistakes in many words, you give 2 points. If there are mistakes in some words, you give 3 points. If the words are pronounced correctly, you give 4 points. Now stress and pausing, so it should sound like English. So if they read fewer than 4 sentences, or again there is an audio file, but there's silence there, or you can hear some words in Estonian, you give 1 point. If there are many problems with sentence stress and pausing, it's 2 points. If there are some problems, you give 3 points. And if the stress and pausing are appropriate, you give 4 points. Also, when you don't really know whether the student is experiencing technical problems or they are just recording, but they've decided not to say anything. Whenever you suspect that there might be some technical problems involved, just mark it with 0, and then we'll know how to structure the feedback. So this is the read aloud task, and this is the assessor's view. So this is what you as an assessor will be able to see. And here, for example, we have a recording. It's 3 seconds long. But you can hear that there were some technical problems. Then you just write 0, 0, and then it means here the students had technical problems. Also, you as an assessor, this is the text that the student had to read. So you can see it here, or when you click here, you can also see what the students could see when they were taking this test. And now, so we have the marking scale here. So we'll listen to some examples and we'll try to assess the samples. So the first one.
Mary's parents gave her a dog for her birthday. His name is Spot. He is black. Mary is worried because she can't find her dog. Mary is looking for him in the park. She hears barking. She calls her dog's name. Now she can see Spot. They are both very happy.
Okay. So she managed to read everything. It did sound like English. However, there were some minor problems, so mistakes in some words, for example, worried and very, and then park and barking. So it's 3 points for her pronunciation and 4 points for the sentence stress and pausing. Okay, and another example.
Mary's parents gave her a dog for her birthday. His name is Spot. He's black. Mary is worried because she can't find her dog. Mary is looking for him in the park. She hears breaking. She calls her dog's name. Now she can see Spot. They are both very happy.
Okay, so this performance was a bit weaker, you probably noticed, but when we think about the pronunciation, then there were mistakes in some words, but not in many words. So just some, like there was barking and some other minor problems. However, sentence stress and pausing, so there were many problems because it was not as easy to follow as it should have been.